Hello, students. This is Purushottam Vishwakarma, and today we'll study lifelines of national economy. This is the last chapter in your geography book, class 10th, social science. In this chapter, we'll study why transportation system is known as the lifelines of Indian economy. We use different materials and services in our daily life. Some of these are available in our immediate surroundings, while other requirements are met by bringing them from other places. So how these are brought? ये चीजें जो हमें रिक्वायर्ड हैं, जो हमारी नेसेसिटीज हैं, वो पूरी कैसे होती हैं? दीज आर ब्रॉट, लेके आई जाती हैं कैसे? थ्रू ट्रांसपोर्टेशन मीडियम्स, थ्रू मीडियम ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट. That is why there is a need of transportation, and this is the main reason these transportation systems are known as lifelines of national economy. Goods and services do not move from supply locations to demand locations on their own. ये अपने आप से एक जगह से दूसरे जगह नहीं जा सकते. Goods and services, the movement of these goods and services from their supply locations to demand locations necessitates the need for transport. That is why we need transportation system. Some people are engaged in facilitating these movements. कुछ लोग इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं, इस व्यापार में, इस काम में. These are known to be traders who make the products come to the consumers by transportation. Thus, the pace of development of a country depends upon the production of goods and services as well as their movement over space. So, not only on land, water, along with space. Therefore, efficient means of transport are prerequisites for fast development. These are required for fast development. These are necessities for the development of a country. Movement of these goods and services can be over three important domains of our earth, that is land, water and air. अब ये जो मूवमेंट है हमारा डेवलपमेंट के लिए, ये बेसिकली थ्री वेज में होता है, तीन तरीके से होता है. थ्री डोमेन्स ऑफ अर्थ में, दैट इज लैंड, वाटर एंड एयर. सिंपली land transport, water transport and air transport. Transport, communication and trade play an important role in day-to-day life, as we have discussed. Transport, communication and trade play an important role in day-to-day life as they link production with consumption. Production itself becomes easy by transport. Communication and trade as processing site is linked with the sites of raw material. How this is possible? Only due to transportation. Developed transport, communication, and trade help goods and services being distributed in the local, national, and international markets. They not only ensure movement of people, materials, and communication, but also movement of ideas and skill from one region to another. So the development of efficient transport and communication network reflects the development of economy and the country as a whole. These means are called lifelines of nations economy. In other words, lifelines of national economy. Today, India is well linked with the rest of the world despite its vast size, diversity and linguistic and socio-cultural plurality. Railways, airways, waterways, newspapers, radio, television, cinema and internet, etc. have been contributing to its socio-economic progress in many ways. आज इंडिया को इतनी विविधता के बावजूद इंडिया की सुविधाओं की वजह से रेलवे में जो सुविधाएं मिली हैं, एयरवेज की जो प्रोग्रेस है, वाटरवेज में जो हमारी प्रोग्रेस है, along with communication system, newspaper, radio, television, cinema and internet, these are contributing to its socio-economic progress in many ways. The trades from local to international level have added to the vitality of its economy. Means of transport. First of all, land, water, and then air. In land, roadways, railways, pipelines. Water, inland, overseas. Air, domestic, international. Under domestic, public undertaking, and private airlines. So, this is the classification of means of transport. Then comes roadways. The very first thing under land transport, roadways. India has one of the largest road networks in the world, aggregating to about 2.3 million kilometers at present. The growing importance of road transport vis-a-vis rail transport is rooted in the following reasons. First of all, construction cost of roads is much lower than that of railway lines. In India, not only in India, all over the world, construction cost of roads is much lower than that of railway lines. Roads can traverse, can move in zigzag manner as well. Traverse here means to move in a zigzag way, comparatively more dissected and undulating topography. Dissected, separating lands, separating parts, and undulating up and down like waves movement that is not possible in rail transport. So comparatively, it is easy to make zigzag roads in comparison of railway. Roads can negotiate higher gradients of slopes and such can traverse mountains such as Himalayas. Such roads can traverse, can move in zigzag manner and cover such mountains like Himalayas. तो रोड्स हिमालय पे भी बनाए जा सकते हैं आसानी से, बट रेल्स आसानी से हिमालय पे नहीं बिछाई जा सकती. दैट इज वाई वी गिव प्रायोरिटी to road transport over rail transport. Road transport is economical in transportation of few persons. If you are traveling by a bus, it will cost you less in comparison of if you are traveling by a train. But that is only for a few person. जब ज़्यादा लोगों को ट्रेन लेके जाएगी तो कम कॉस्ट आएगी, ट्रेन का किराया कम पड़ेगा. लेकिन थोड़े लोगों के ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए, कम सामान के लिए, road transport is the best medium. And relatively smaller amount of goods over short distances. It also provides door to door service, thus the cost of loading and unloading is much lower. क्योंकि ये घर घर सर्विस पहुंचा सकता है रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट, रेलवे घर घर नहीं पहुंचा सकता. दैट इज वाई द कॉस्ट ऑफ लोडिंग एंड अनलोडिंग इज लोअर, कम होती है कॉस्ट. रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट इज ऑल्सो यूज एज अ फीडर टू अदर मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट. ये बाकी मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट के लिए फीडर का काम करता है, हेल्प करता है अदर मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट में. आपको एयरपोर्ट जाना है, हाउ यू गो, बाय रोड जाएंगे. रेलवे स्टेशन जाना है, कैसे जाएंगे, बाय रोड जाएंगे. सी पोर्ट जाना है, कैसे जाएंगे, बाय रोड जाएंगे. सो इट हेल्प्स, इट इज लाइक अ फीडर टू अदर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम. In India, roads are classified in the following six classes according to their capacity. What are the following six classes? First one, golden quadrilateral superhighways. If you see in the picture, this is superhighway. What is golden quadrilateral superhighways? The government has launched a major roads development project linking Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, and Delhi by six-lane superhighways. The north-south corridors linking Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir, and Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu, and east-west corridor connecting Silchar, Assam, and Porbandar, Gujarat, are part of this project. The major objective of these superhighways is to reduce the time and distance between the mega cities of India. These highway projects are being implemented by the National Highway Authority of India, in short NHAI, National Highway Authority of India. Now the remaining five. The second one, national highways. National highways. National highways means that connects inner parts. National highways link extreme parts of the country. These are the primary road systems and are laid and maintained by the Central Public Works Department. In short, CPWD, Central Public Works Department. Then comes state highways. Roads linking a state capital with different districts headquarters are known as state highways. These roads are constructed and maintained by the State Public Works Department, that is PWD, Public Works Department, in state and union territories. Next comes district roads. What are district roads? These roads connect the district headquarters with other places of the districts. These roads are maintained by the Jila Parishad. So, who maintains district roads? Jila Parishad. Next, village roads, rural roads. Rural roads which link rural areas and villages with towns are classified under this category. These roads received special impetus under Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. Under this scheme, special provisions are made so that every village in the country is linked to a major town in the country by an all season motorable road. These are maintained by Gram Panchayat. Mostly these are kacha roads. Now last one, border roads. Apart from these border roads organization, a government of India undertaking, that is BRO, Border Road Organization, constructs and maintain roads in bordering areas of the country. This organization was established in the year 1960. When? In the year 1960, for the development of the roads of strategic importance in the northern and northeastern border areas. These roads have improved accessibility in areas of difficult terrain and have helped in the economic development of the area. Do you know National Highway 7 is the longest and traverses 2,369 km between Varanasi and Kanyakumari via Jabalpur, Nagpur, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Madurai. Delhi and Mumbai are connected by National Highway 8, while National Highway 15 covers most of Rajasthan. Now we'll see in the picture, in the map, about different highways of India. First of all, Golden Quadrilateral. If I show you in the picture, Golden Quadrilateral. in golden color, yellowish line you can see here. This road is known as golden quadrilateral that connects four most important cities, metro cities of India. What are these? Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. This is why, this is the reason this road is known as golden quadrilateral, having four sides: one, two, three, four. So this is the reason this road is known as golden quadrilateral, because it connects Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata, the four big cities of India. Let's see the next one, north south corridor. You know very well, the upper portion in a map is known as north. So this is north, and this portion is known as south. The down portion is south. North south corridor. What is north south corridor? This line, this road is known as north south corridor of India, which connects north to south. Then comes east west corridor. If you see here, from Porbandar to Silchar, east west corridor. Furthermore, national highways with number. If I show you in the picture, there are different national highways and numbers are given. For example, here you can see 7, 6, 59A, 12, 12A, 43, 200, 78, 100, 23, 12. In the same way, you can notice different highways along with number. These are national highways with number given. Border roads. In the picture you can see these are border roads on borders of India, especially in hilly regions. In the first picture you can see snow. In the second one you can see hilly regions. Now the last thing in this video, road density. The length of road per 100 square kilometer of area is known as density of roads. Distribution of road is not uniform in the country. Density of all roads varies from only 12.14 km in Jammu and Kashmir to 517.77 km in Kerala. So if I tell you, in Jammu and Kashmir it is only 12.14 km, while in Kerala 517.77 km. As on 31st March 2011. This is the data of 31st March 2011 from the census of 2011. With the national average, what is the national average of India for road? National average is 142.68 142.68 kilometer. Road transportation in India faces a number of problems. Keeping in view the volume of traffic and passengers, the road network is inadequate. About half of the roads are unmetalled, and this limits their uses during the rainy season. The national highways are inadequate too. Moreover, the roadways are highly congested in cities, and most of the bridges and culverts are old and narrow. However, in recent years, fast development of road network has taken place in different parts of the country. So we are developing our transportation, but still there is need for improvement. That's all in this video. Remaining in next video. Thanks for watching.